People have their commitment. They have this loyalty and their commitment to God because they don't want to go to hell. And a lot of people, and when I was getting rid of Christianity, like when I was really analyzing and deconstructing it for what it was, and I knew that Christianity was given to black people because of slavery. I knew that the Jesus story, the Jesus myth has been told for thousands of years in multiple different ways. The only thing that I really had to confirm now was, is there a hell? And once I understood that a spirit cannot be consumed, energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be transferred, that's when I knew that hell could not exist. Because if I am from the originator, if I am from the divine source, and my energy and my spirit and my soul comes from the divine source, and the divine source cannot be created or destroyed, that means my spirit, my soul cannot be consumed. God is considered a consuming fire. And I like, come on now. So if I'm a consuming fire, if I come from the divine spark, how can hell exist? Why do I have fear of hell if I am hell? If I am fire? As Shaka Zulu said, you tell us about hell. Around here, we eat fire. You see what I'm saying? We come from that. We come from fire. We come from the divine spark. We come from energy. Also, did you know that hell is not in the Bible? What? But turn around. Jesus talks about hell. No, he talks about Gehenna. And Gehenna was used as a metaphor or a figure of speech. The Jews didn't believe in a hell. So why would Jesus even bring up a new concept? There was Sheol. There was no hell.
What about the lake of fire at the end times?
The lake of fire is not real either. The lake of fire is supposed to be a representation of the rebirth, the regeneration. You ever hear this phrase of, you shall rise from the ashes like a phoenix? This hell fire, fire and brimstone, is supposed to be a cleansing, not a consuming moment of you going and being casted off forever. But hell and Satan and the Antichrist and the beast, they were all casted into the hell, into the lake of fire. Yes, these are things within yourself where you get rid of the bad, the things that no longer benefit you, and transform them into power. Transform them into things that you can utilize. Duh. That's the renewal. The new heaven and a new earth is the new mind and the new body. It's just talking about yourself. There is not going to be a second coming. There's not going to be a heaven falling from the sky. There's not going to be Jesus with a mass of angels just slaughtering everybody. That's not... Y'all, as much as I love mythology, y'all got to get out of the comics. This all happens from within. The second coming of Christ is you. You are the second coming. You are supposed to be a walking example of that Christ energy. All hell is a fear tactic to get people to believe in more so of their condemnation and their misdeeds and their shortcomings rather than their identity. It's to keep them off focus and to keep them distracted from who they aren't. It's to keep them distracted from who they are and rather focusing on who they aren't. To keep feeding these lies that they're not good enough, they're unworthy, they're dirty, they're sinful, and just keep feeding into these lies that they keep giving to themselves because of the church, because the church feeds off of fear. If there was no fear instilled in the church, if there was no condemnation or judgment or condemnation in the church, you wouldn't have a packed church. Christianity wouldn't be one of the major religions in the world, because the only reason why Christianity even in itself is a major religion in the world was through fear, was through bloodshed. They didn't want to talk about that though. The only reason why black people in America are Christian, majority of them, is because it was instilled in them, enforced in them through slavery. But